What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have some college football on this nice Friday night. I'm going to give you guys 4 of my favorite college football plays, as well as I'm going to kind of give you guys my favorite games to target in terms of player props for college football if you guys want to make your own picks. But that being said, if you guys want to get all these picks and plays, make sure you guys stick around to the end, and I'll see y'all in just a second. So if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you already know how this works. We got to pick a winner from our last video to win a free month of our VIP. If you're new to the channel, the way this works is every single video, if the video gets 250 likes, I pick a comment from the comments to win a free month. So make sure you guys smash that like button, drop a comment down below, and then I will get a winner in tomorrow's video for free VIP. So let's go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday. The winner is going to be for Jimmy Crazy 648. Jimmy, send me a message on Discord, my man. I will get you added for that free month. I appreciate the love and support from every single one of you guys. And let's talk about how our props went yesterday. So I'm going to show you guys what I played, and then I'm going to talk about what I gave in the video for free. So this is every player prop slip that I pretty much played. Prizepicks and Underdog right here. Posted 6 slips you can see here. 4 of them cashed. Now, when I recorded the NFL video, Brock Purdy had not, or right before I recorded, I probably checked an hour and a half before I recorded, checking injury news, making sure everything was playing. Everything looked good. Obviously, I knew Kittle and some of the wide receivers were out for San Francisco, but it had Brock Purdy playing, and I was like, all right, let's record this video. He got removed, or got pulled, I mean. He did not start the game. And when I recorded the video, it kind of threw me off seeing a 6.5 spread, and I just didn't realize what had happened. So I apologize for not understanding that Brock Purdy wasn't playing. I will say Mac Jones looked really good yesterday playing. This Rams defense could not stop him. But I had to kind of go off or away from what I had originally wanted to do on the free picks, because when I posted the video, immediately my Discord started, hey, man, Purdy just got ruled out, They were kind of spamming it in chat. So the slips I originally gave, I did not end up getting to play, and I tried to make a little note in the video kind of saying what I had planned on doing. So this is what I played. So this one was an X. I missed this play. This is Cardi, and this is Morstead. This is kind of what I gave from the free picks, I believe. Yeah, I gave field goals made for the free picks. Cardi missed a field goal. We cashed this. If they kicked the field goal at the end there to tie the game in overtime and just played like they should have played instead of going for it for fourth, then we would have cashed this as well. So we had every opportunity in the world to cash this slip. Morstead already cashed punts. It happened. It is what it is. So that one ended up chalking. I could have cashed $400. McCaffrey and Cardi. I had Cardi under 10.5 kicking points. It's a lot of kicking points. I bought it down. I played this with a 50% profit boost on Underdog. I could only play $50 on it, 50 to win 150 for the most part. McCaffrey went over in overtime. So overtime didn't cash this slip like I thought it would, and it chalked this slip. So overtime really hurt me on that. I did post Stafford with McCaffrey here. I know McCaffrey rushing yards was one of the free picks that I gave. I ended up taking him with Stafford over 1.5 passing touchdowns, which we cashed. It was a low payout, but this game was ugly for player props. It was tough to call. I didn't know how well Mac Jones and this San Francisco offense was going to be able to move the ball, so I had to kind of switch things up slightly without Brock Purdy. So this one was a 150 to win 270. I played Cardi right here, PATs with Bourne. That one was a nice slip we hit. Not even quite a double up. It's 150 to win 285. I'll take that. And for the ones who don't like low payouts, let me give you guys an example of something. If you were to cash a double up for $150 every single day for a month, and say that's the only slip you propped and cashed everything, you'd be up $4,500 a month on average just from one double up. So I'm just throwing it out there. If you can find a safe double up you like and you can hit them more than none, you can profit a good amount of profit every single month. But anyways, the Puka Nacua receiving yard taco ended up cashed us out. And then I had Nacua receptions with McCaffrey receiving yards on Underdog for 50 for 193. So that's what I played. I know it ain't quite what I showed in the YouTube video. Obviously, I missed my teaser. I forgot about the teaser. The teaser did miss. I ended up just playing Chargers money line with or Chargers spread with the New Mexico State, which ended up chalking. But anyways, that's what I had yesterday. It wasn't the greatest day. It was still profitable, but not by much. anyways, guys, if you do want to get every play or if you want to join our Discord for free, the Discord is free to join. I saw somebody ask yesterday asking what the difference between being Discord and VIP is. So in the Discord, there's going to be 2 sections, and I'll go ahead. I'm just going to show you guys in the video so you guys can understand. Let me ban this bot that's in the Discord spamming other servers. But right here, so this is our Discord. I guess I can full screen this. This is the free area. So you have a free area right here. This is what you're going to see, all you're going to see whenever you join the Discord for free. And you're going to have my free picks. In the free picks, I give away an extra free slip every week. So you get this for free by joining the Discord. That's what you're going to get. If you have any questions in general chat, obviously you got people posting slips and stuff in general chat like this one. Flu's right here. He used to be in VIP. He posted a free slip in chat. So there's reasons to be in it. The chat stays pretty consistently active. But if you come to VIP, man, VIP chat is a completely different animal. You can see this is since like 9:15 a.m., which is 20 minutes ago. And I mean, this chat is always booming. These are all the picks that I post. We got mods that post. And these are the people from the community. So if the community was requesting someone to post plays, they're pretty much right here locked in. And then we got Platinum, who dominates a lot of the time too. But anyways, guys, that's how the Discord works for the one who was asking. If you want to join our Discord, you can join for free, or you can join the VIP, $25 a month, $10 a week, whichever one. It's totally up to you guys. No pressure at all, but we'd love to have you a part of the community. That being said, let's go ahead and talk about these games, guys, because we got a pretty big Friday slate. The games aren't amazing, but we got some pretty good games for player props, in my opinion. So we're going to talk about the first one right now. And I'm really just going to talk about the games. I have 3 games that I like on this slate for player props. I'm not saying the other games are bad for player props, but there's 3 of them specifically that I want to target. So the first one's going to be Western Kentucky taking on Delaware. So you got Western Kentucky right now on the road, plus 133 versus Delaware. Obviously, Delaware playing at home. The spread on this is sitting at -2.5, but the total on this is sitting at 61.5. So we're looking at a game that's predicted to be a shootout and should be a shootout. Everything's pointing to a shootout, and I'll show you guys some information here in a second that shows that. But let's look at public betting. 57% of the money's on Western Kentucky, and 54% of the money on them covering the spread. 68% of the money on the over 61.5. When you have a total of 61.5 with majority of money on the over, and you're looking at 2 teams that can score 30-plus points in a game, you got some good player prop options here. So taking a look at this, and you guys, I know I said that. Some people are gonna complain in the comments when I give you my first pick because of what I just said about this game being a potential shootout, because I am running an under on one of the quarterbacks. Just saying, but you guys can see why here in a minute too if you want. But anyways, 4-1 right now for Western Kentucky, 3-1 right now for the Fighting Blue Hens, and you can see both teams kind of have pretty easy schedules. Now, toughest matchup I would say for Delaware was versus Colorado. They were on the road in Colorado. They got beat 31-7. If you look at the other side of things, in my opinion, one of the toughest games was their only loss as well for Western Kentucky versus Toledo. Toledo, not a powerhouse by any means, but they ended up getting beat 45-21. Looking at them on the road, they lost their only game on the road. Delaware has won both games so far at home. So everything's pointing to a shootout when you look at yards. So if you look at Western Kentucky versus the Delaware defense, Western Kentucky is averaging 448 yards per game, and Delaware's defense is giving up 408 yards per game. So a strong, powerful, or I guess you could call them powerful versus who they played, offense versus a pretty rough defense that hasn't played against very strong offensive teams. So Delaware's defense does not look like it can hold up too well. If you look at the other side of things, you got Delaware 423.5 offensive yards, and then you got the defense for Western Kentucky giving up 387 yards per game. So one thing I do want to look at right here is I want to look at the quarterback's passing yard, or the passing yard defense for both these teams. So passing yards right now, Delaware is giving up 176 passing yards per game. They have the 33rd ranked defense in the league in terms of passing yards allowed per game so far versus some of these teams. Rushing yards on the other hand, they're giving up 211 rushing yards per game so far this season. If you look at and I'm looking at Western Kentucky, not Delaware. I can totally had that backwards, but Western Kentucky's passing defense is looking pretty good. That's just reverse. It's not Delaware's defense. Other side of things, Delaware, they're giving up 166 rushing yards per game on average, and then they're giving up 241 passing yards per game on average. So still top 100 defense in terms of passing yards allowed. I know that looks horrible. And then you look at Western Kentucky, they're throwing for 321 yards per game on average. Few big games from McIver, which is their quarterback. So Offensively, it does look like it's going to be a shootout. Both teams, you could score a lot. So this is one of my favorite games to target on the slate in terms of player props. We'll talk about the props here in just a minute. The second game I want to target is going to be the New Mexico versus San Jose State. So another game where it's pretty close on the spread. I'm trying to keep these competitive games in mind for this, especially when they have high totals. Total sitting at 58.5. The spread's -2.5, and then San Jose State is favored slightly in this game. 66% of the money is on New Mexico. 66% of the money on New Mexico to cover the spread, and then 79% of the money is on the total over 58. If you look at both of these teams so far this season, New Mexico is 3-1. Then San Jose is 1-3 so far this season. So looking rough for San Jose State so far. They barely lost to Stanford in their last game, and I think that was on the road. So they were on the road versus Stanford and lost 29-30, and that's pretty tough team to play against on the road. If you look at Texas, they played Texas on the road, 7-38, another tough team to play on the road. So their schedule's been kind of difficult. If you look at New Mexico, I can't say the same thing. Now, they played Michigan. I'm not a Michigan fan, man. I'm sorry if you're a Michigan fan. I apologize. I don't know what it is about the team. I don't know if it's because they've chalked my parlays so many times. Not in money lines and stuff, just like the players. Every time I take anything from Michigan, I lose money. So Michigan has become like a team that I just like. I have like a little bit of I don't know. I have a little bit of spite against them. But anyways, they went to Michigan, lost 17-34. Then they won 3 straight games, beating New Mexico State and UCLA. So, I mean, I'm not going to say their schedule's tough. If you look at actually strength of schedule for San Jose State is way stronger than New Mexico. So, obviously, San Jose on the road versus Texas is way harder than anything that New Mexico has played against so far. But I do predict this game to be pretty high scoring. So let's take a look at this game so far on paper and see how these offenses have played this so far and the defenses. So if you look at New Mexico, they're averaging almost 400 yards per offense so far, averaging 174 rushing yards per game as well as 217 passing yards per game. 174 rushing yards, man. They are running the ball quite a bit. If you look at San Jose State's defense, 422 yards per game given up on average. Rushing yards are giving up 145 rushing yards. Then they're giving up 277 passing yards. So their passing yard defense, 125th in the nation, one of the worst passing defenses in the league. If you go over to the other side of things, you look at San Jose State's offense, they're giving up 400 yards or getting 400 yards per game on offense, 104 rushing yards with almost 300 passing yards. Defense for New Mexico, 367 given up per game, 111 rushing yards, and then you're looking at 255 passing yards. We can look at the scores and stuff, how many points of offense, but I'm not playing totals or anything on this one, so that doesn't really matter to me much in terms of on paper stats versus for player props or whatever. But anyways, like this game a lot to target. If you guys are looking for a game to target, I think you can get a lot of good plays from this game. So maybe pay attention to some of the props on the board for this one. Last game I want to talk about is going to be the San Diego State game versus Colorado State, and we're going to scroll down to this one. You got the Rams taking on the Aztecs. The Aztecs are -217 favorites, 5.5 favorites on the spread, and the total on this game sitting at 40.5. I know the total on this one's a lot lower than the other ones we were just talking about. 86% of the money's on San Diego State. 66% of the money's on them to cover the spread. And then 55% of the money on the under. So they're predicting a pretty slow, low-scoring game. Let's look at how these teams have played so far. So Colorado State has struggled to move the ball at all. 3 points, 16 points. They did score 21 points. 21 points here. If you look on the other side of things, San Diego State, they won 6-3. 6-3. 34-0 versus California. 13 points to 36. And then they had 42 in the opening game this season. So both teams offensively haven't looked amazing. I just like the matchup on this one. I think San Diego State wins this game. Honestly think they cover the spread. I think they win by a touchdown or more. I think they're by far the better team here. And offensively, I like the opportunities we have here. So if you look at San Diego State's offense, they're getting 316 yards per offense per game on average. And they're getting 150 rushing yards per game. The 84th ranked offense going against a team that gives up 170 rushing yards per game. Colorado State gives up as many rushing yards as they do passing yards per game. So rushing props is what I was looking for this one, and I actually have a prop for this, so you guys will see who I'm taking here in a minute. On the other side of things, Colorado State getting 344 yards per offense. I'm not touching anything from Colorado State. I'm just saying, defensively, San Diego State looks way better than Colorado State's offense in terms of stats. On paper, everything looks way better, so I'm just not going to touch that. So I think San Diego State just has the better team, and I think they win. So that's pretty much what I got going here for that game. So other than that, I think BYU, you could target some of their players, and I mean, you can see they're minus 20-point favorites, or they're 20-point favorites. So that one you got to watch out for. But I do think BYU, some of their players are going to get some good yards if you want to target that one. Same thing for USF. I think USF is got a chance to score here, or a chance to get some good props as well. It's just these games have so much blowout potential. I don't want to touch it. Now, if these games stay competitive, these are going to be the games to target, because BYU are going to have to sling the ball. You got Byron Brown here, obviously a really explosive quarterback who can run and throw the ball really well. So if Charlotte keeps this game close, then USF is going to be a team to target, and it'll be a very high-scoring game in my opinion. So just watch out for that as well. But that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the player props and the actual picks. I kind of did like a 15-minute, I'm not going to call it an intro, but just talking about the game. Some people like that. Some people don't. If you don't like it, just skip it to the player prop section. That's all you got to do. But that being said, talking about our first pick of the day, it's going to be for our man Maverick McIver. So I am taking the Western Kentucky quarterback. I am running his under, and you guys are more than welcome to take the over if you want. This one is going to be sweaty, but 315 passing yards is a lot for McIver. If you look at him this season, he has been over twice of 5 games. He had 401 in his first game. He had 317, barely going over in his last game. And these are some high-scoring totals, man. Even some of the ones where they went under. If you look at him versus Nevada, that was a 47-point total. He went under. They scored 31 points. This one, 66-point total versus Toledo. He went under, and they lost. So he was having to air the ball out. Look at this one, 61-point total. They won 55-6. Obviously, he's not going to air the ball out on that one, but Western Kentucky they're not scared to throw the ball if they're in the league. If you look at Delaware's passing defense, it's pretty horrendous. They give up 240 passing yards per game on average, but regardless, man, I think 315 is too high. I'm going to be locking in the under. If you want to take the over, I don't blame you. They run or pass the ball 58% of the time. I can see this game being competitive. I can see either team win, Delaware or Western Kentucky. So keep that out there. But I don't think they're going to have too many problems running the ball either. I think we got some good running back potential here, and I just don't think McIver is going to have to throw for 315 yards in this game, or is going to throw for that even if he wanted to. So Maverick McIver is going to be the first pick that I'm taking under. This play is boosted on parlay play for the over. We hit college football here on parlay play. I do want to say, guys, if you want a free month of our VIP, you can sign up to any partnered app down in the description. Chalkboard and parlay play give you free money for using our code. Use code Fantasy Aces on either Chalkboard or parlay play. Chalkboard gives you $25 for free, no deposit required. Parlay play will give you $5 for free. A deposit is required to get free VIP. Then the other apps are Sleeper, Underdog, Better, Novig, and Dabble. Any of those 5 apps, just make a $10 deposit or more, and I'll get you guys added for a free month. You can get up to 7 full months for free. But you guys can see McIver is 289 passing yards for 1.45x. I think he could throw for 290 or 300 and still, you could hedge it right here and cash both, I think. So I don't think this is a bad play. I think it's going to be sweaty on the under. I do think that, but I got to roll with the under, man. I got to trust my gut on that one. They do have another one, Lucky Sutton. Lucky Sutton's another really good play, a double up for his 78.5 rushing yards, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. But Maverick McIver is going to be pick number 1. I'm rolling in the under, and it actually just got bumped up to 315.5, so you can get him at 315.5. I'm taking the under on this. If you want to buy him down, take the over, or take the over 315.5, be my guest. But that's what I'm going to run with as pick number 1. Who am I going to pair him with? I'm going to pair him with Walker, the San Jose State quarterback. I'm going to take Walker over 1.5 passing touchdowns. So his original line sitting at 2.5. You buy it down to 1.5, and he's cashed this in 2 of 4 games so far this season. He just had 3 versus Stanford, and he had 2 in the first game of the season. Going against New Mexico. New Mexico has the number 1 or the 35th ranked defense in the league, giving up 1 passing TD per game on average. Now, why would you play this? They still give up a ton of passing yards. They give up the 110th ranked defense in the league in terms of passing yards allowed, 255.5 passing yards per game. If you look at Walker, he's averaging 300 passing yards per game. This game is predicted to be a shootout. We've already seen it's like a 60-point total. Why would we not give it? If it's a 60-point total, you got to score pretty much 4 touchdowns per team to be able to cash that. I think in terms of getting 2 TDs in a 4-touchdown game, I think the odds are there and are in my favor on this one, especially when I think that New Mexico could win this game. I think this is going to be a close game, and I think that they're going to have to throw the ball. They're not just going to run the ball down the throat. They do pass the ball 65% of the time. If you look at red zone targets, I wish it would show targets in the I wish it would show plays in the red zone versus like rushing versus passing. Maybe they do if I click a different one. Red zone target share, red zone rush attempts. They're averaging one. That's his. So it's a struggle, man. Attempts plus targets, passing TD. I'm trying to see if there is something here. Passing red zone attempts is averaging 6 per game. So he is throwing the ball a lot in the red zone. So anyway, either way, I like Walker for 1.5 passing touchdowns if you want to play it. So that's going to be my second pick right here, and this gives us 2.25x. I'm going to throw $150 on this to win 337. Let's see if we can get Walker on parlay play. 1.5 passing TDs. If we can play it with McIver, we can hedge this, man. I may just hedge this on the video. I'm gonna my pick is McIver under the regular line, but a boosted over on the 289. I think I'm gonna risk it. I think I'm gonna risk the hedge and hope he falls somewhere in the middle around 300. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't recommend doing this if you have a small bankroll, but if you can afford to lose one slip and cash the other, I think this is gonna be a good play, and I'm gonna hedge it. So 250 to win 450 on this one because I trust my gut feeling on this. That being said, I'll lock this in for my Discord here in a minute and post on both in Discord. But regardless, that's what I've got. Jumping into pick number 3, which is going to be the start of our second slip. We're going to take our man Humphrey. So we're taking the New Mexico running back. I'm taking Humphrey to give us 29.5 or 39.5 rushing yards. So his original line sitting at 58.5. You can buy this down on Prizepicks at 29.5 or 39.5. If you look at 29.5, he's cashed it all 4 games this season. If you look at 39.5, he's cashed it 3 of 4 games this season. He's averaging 66 rushing yards per game on average, going against San Jose State, who gives up 145 rushing yards per game on average, middle of the pack in terms of rushing defense. New Mexico runs the ball 55% of the time, pass the ball 45% of the time, so they are a run-first offense. If you look at them so far this season, Humphrey has had more rush attempts than any other on the team. They do have 3 backs that take the ball, including quarterback Jack Lane, who also runs the ball for 15 rush attempts so far this season. But right now, Humphrey gets 31.8% of the rush share, 48 rush attempts so far this season. If you look at him, his averages for the game, he's averaging 11.8 rush attempts. So far, his high has been 18, his low has been 6 versus UCLA. So they did dominate that game as well, so they probably didn't want to risk injury through him. So I think this game's going to be tough. I can see San Jose State or New Mexico winning this game. I think this is going to be competitive, and 39.5 or 29.5 I think is going to be a good play. And we're going to check the odds on this and to see which one we like better. So I'm going to bring him down to 29.5 and then take a look at our next pick. So the 4th pick of the day that I have for the last pick was going to be for our man Lucky Sutton. So I'm taking Lucky Sutton, and I'm going to be taking him over rushing yards as well. So this is the San Diego State running back, and we're going to be taking him. So San Diego State, 78.5 is his original line. He's cashed the original line 3 or 4 games this season, averaging 84 rushing yards per game. I told you guys, I think the Aztecs dominate the Rams in this game. I think they win by at least a touchdown. If you look at Colorado State's defense so far on the rushing side of things, they give up 169 rushing yards per game, 108th ranked defense, which is terrible. If you look at San Diego State, they run the ball 60% of the time, so obviously a run-first offense. If you look at their overall rush share, Lucky Sutton gets 43% or 42.4% of the rush share, 67 rush attempts so far this game. So he's definitely going to be their targeted running back to start the game. All he needs is one big run, and he cashes. He averages 17 attempts per game. I think this is going to be a good spot for Lucky Sutton. Now, if we play Lucky Sutton's original line with Humphrey, you get a 2x. If we take Humphrey at 39.5, we can buy Lucky down to 69.5 and still get pretty much a 2x. This comes down to which one do you trust more? Do you trust Humphrey to give us 40? And I think Sutton cashes his original line as well, but you would have some time or some opportunities here to bring this down. I think I'm going to play this on Prizepicks and take the 150 for 285, and then I think I'm going to play Lucky Sutton's original line on parlay play for the 78.5, and I'm probably going to play it with the same play. So I'm going to take Humphrey over here and buy Humphrey down really small Let's see here. Humphrey, rushing yards. I can get him down to 20. You can actually get him at 24.5. It's a 2.1x versus a 2.2x. So I'm just going to play the 24.5 and take the double up on this and just play it with Lucky Sutton. That way you're kind of hitting both sides of things. If Lucky Sutton cashes his original line, he obviously cashes this one. If he gets like 70-something and chalks this line, we can still cash this slip. And then Humphrey, I'm just taking a chance on Humphrey to give us 40. So I know I'm kind of doubling down on these slips a little bit, playing them slightly different. That way it's not the exact same thing. I think all of them do cash. I do like all these props, and I'm feeling a sweep, but we'll see. So these props are locked in live. I'm going to refresh so you know it's legit. McIver with Walker right here, 250 for 450. Then we got 250 for 525. And then you guys saw the slips I'm going to lock in on Prizepicks. Slightly different. So that's what I got for today, guys. Those are my 4 picks, my 2 slips I'm going to give you guys. If you guys like them, lock them in. If you don't like a play, just fade it. But hope you guys have an awesome day. Hope you cash every single slip. Remember, guys, NBA preseason has started. I might dabble into some preseason once it gets going a little bit. We got regular season NBA in like 3 weeks. So super excited about that. Peak season for sports betting. Football, baseball playoffs, hockey starting up, and we got NBA starting up. It doesn't get any better. So anyways, hope you guys have an awesome day, and hopefully I can see you guys tomorrow with 2 cashed slips.